pulling exercises, be it vertical, pull up, chin up, lat pull down, stuff like that, or horizontal like a seated row, bent over row, could be even bands and stuff like that, face pulls. The thing to know about a pull is that it's a back exercise, so you should probably squeeze your back. And what I see a lot of the times for the same thing that happens on the opposite side of the scale on the pressing, which I just did a video of, the torso muscles don't get involved enough, they don't get involved soon enough. Now again, you should never look like a robot when you're doing stuff. I think the training industry's gotten really good at saying, okay, yes, you need to depress your shoulder blades, but it doesn't have to happen like a robot. We don't need to retract your shoulder blades entirely before you get your arm back. So the point is, and I'm just going to show this on a band, I think it's very easy on a band to see. It's also easy as a trainer to see if my client is doing this properly. Now what should happen on a proper pull, and I'm going to work on horizontal, I'll show you vertical in a second. If I'm in athletic stance, now this would just be a band row. Okay? When it goes wrong and people do not do pulling well, they're not really flexing their back. They're not really stretching it. You may feel a stretch in the lat, but you're not actually contracting it on the way back. Okay? This is coming from my arms. I might as well make this a bicep curl because that's basically what I'm doing is just a hammer curl. What I need to do is pinch my shoulder blades. If my shoulder blades do not pinch, I'm not performing a proper pull. So I'm going to attempt, I don't care about the hands, stop thinking about the hands. Pull my shoulder blades back as far as they'll go, stretch. Okay? People that emphasize the arms, what I try to get them to do, instead of using a full grip, I will use a false grip. Take the thumb out, it'll really help. I try to get them to emphasize shoulders first, then squeeze. I'm not going to do that with a heavy weight. I'm not going to do that once a person knows how to pull properly. I'm going to get them to have good rhythm and timing. But if they don't have the shoulder blade, you get them to go shoulder blade first, add the arms, stretch everything, one shot. Shoulder blade, pull. I shouldn't go slouchy. I should still have my collarbone up. But I have to squeeze my shoulder blades. Okay? So just from behind, I could pull my arms all the way back. Doesn't mean I actually squeeze my back. Okay? I have to squeeze. What I like to tell gals when I'm training gals, works extremely well. Try to pinch where your bra strap clasp is. Because women generally have upper traps that are too tight, overdeveloped in relation to mid traps and especially lower traps. So the muscles between your shoulder blades aren't very strong. They're a lot stronger as they approach the neck because of stress, because of the weight of the chest pulling you down. There's a lot of reasons. So if you're focused, ladies, if you're focused on where a bra strap clasp is, that's fairly low. So when I row, I'm going to try to squeeze down here instead of squeezing up top, which you definitely don't need. Okay, now a vertical pull. Could be assisted pull up, chin up, lat pull down, I don't care. If a person is great at depressing the shoulder girdle because they have the strength in the low traps, the lats, the rear delts, that's fine. Then I don't need to get them to separate depression before I do the entire movement. Just so you can see what I'm talking about now. A person who does a bad chin-up does it this way. And I see that quite a bit. People will take, especially on the palms up grip, and they'll just pull. But unless your elbow ends up behind you, you didn't work your back. You just worked your biceps and your arms and your forearms and all the rest of it. That's why you're failing. It's not because your lats were so on fire, it's because your grip and your forearms fell apart. That means you're working them too hard. So be it a pull-up, which is just palms down, or a chin-up, which is palms towards you. If you don't get the inside of your elbow behind your back, you likely didn't squeeze your back. So I can do a chin-up that's here, or I can do a chin-up that's there. Okay, so again, one where you can't see my elbows, and one where you can. This chin-up, I'm practically stretching my back. That chin-up, I am not. When you do a vertical pulling motion, try to pull your elbows down, not your head up, not pulling from your hands. That's the first tip. Now, still that doesn't address depression of the shoulder girdle. In a pull-up, it's pretty tough because that's a tough exercise. In a lat pull-down, this is where you should be practicing this. I don't want the first thing to happen, just like I don't want the first thing to happen on a row to come from the elbow and hand. If that's what happens, you've pretty much blown the back exercise, you're not going to get anything out of it. If the first thing that happens, and it's very acutely timed, boom, bang, it's shoulder should happen. I should see shoulder flexing before the elbow bends, just like on a pull down. If the first thing I see or pull up is elbows before the attempt to lift, it's not really going to work for you. So what I'm looking for is from the hang, pull. Can I do this lift? Which is me depressing or pulling down my shoulder girdle. Can I actually do that? Before I pull from my hands really hard. That way I'm going to emphasize training my back. So again, I should pull, then pull, pull, pull. I don't want to just pull from the hands and the forearms first, because that's not really training your back. I know it's complicated, but learn to squeeze back before you add the arms, or learn to squeeze down before you pull the arms. Once you get the timing down, make it harder and stop thinking about it. Just know that if you break from the elbow first, you're emphasizing arms, you are not emphasizing back.